happening right now. Okay, final thing we're going to say. There's amazing representation from local and state government officials here today, and we are going to continue working together. That jurisdictional integration and cooperation is critical to us getting through these hard times. So we're going to stay loud, we're going to stand firm, and we're going to stand together with you all. And we'll get to your questions now. Let's go.
All right, let's set around the rules. For questions, you get a draft. So you have an opportunity to have that ticket, and when you walk in the gym, you should have your ticket. Did everybody get a ticket, or at least most people get a ticket? All right. No tickets over here. Do we run out of tickets? Some folks in the crowd. If you didn't get a ticket, you can raise your hand. Out there. What we're going to do is we're going to pull that out with 3 numbers out at a time. This will allow enough time for folks to get the microphone to you. We'll read the number. And staff will come by that microphone and ask that question. Please keep your questions short so that more folks can get their questions in for the Congresswoman that we have this conversation this afternoon. If you do not get if your number does not get called, please don't yell out your question to the Congresswoman. We exist in a space and place right now where civility sometimes will happen. And we want our communities to be a place of civility still does. So I ask that we're today. So I ask that you today and every day in our community and present. That's how we like to live and exist. So, lastly, please identify which number you have before you ask your question so that we know which one you have. So, with that, are you all ready? Let's ask. I'm going to pull out 3 different numbers, and we'll get the microphone to you as quickly as possible. I believe all I have to do is I have to call out all the numbers. All right, let's see if we do 7809, 7577, and 7590. So 7809. We have 7809, 7577, and 7590. Okay, go ahead and stand up when you have a number, and at least we have a person with a mic. So we have one here, one up there. And then say your number right before. And then we have one over here.
The lady that is trying to find you, she's walking back and forth right here. Oh, you got it? Okay. Awesome. We've got Jeff here. Oh. What? Our sound person, we need to make sure that it's here. Yes. Go ahead up there.
You know my number?
Yes, please.
7590. Good afternoon. I am a Marine Corps veteran who recently finished out of service. And 6 months ago, was hired by the Veterans Benefits Administration at the Regional Office Orland And this last week, I was fired from position as a probationary employee, and yes, I agree. Despite my fourth evaluation showing that I achieved the highest level of performance throughout all of the evaluation periods, I was fired from my fourth.
You work at On Point?
I do. I'm the branch manager
I
at
love
Gresham.
the
I'm a counselor for Wood Village.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Where's the Gresham branch at?
Off of Civic Drive by LA Fitness, the Gresham Station.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the largest.
Federal employees required in the probationary period, and what action we might be able to take, or what assess you see as motivation for this. As I was going to be fired, in my opinion, I was lied to by they said that I was not adequate, whereas my superiors would.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. So I have the privilege of serving on the Veterans Affairs Committee where we did Tracy Barrett. And in my line of questioning and all the questioning, it actually. I don't. Okay, we're. Sorry, okay. So Tracy. It's like we're driving through cell territory right now. So Tracy Barrett was clearly not willing to answer questions. Gallup verified our concern that there was not real performance basis. It was a letter that was sent to everyone. So first, I'm so sorry that you are on the receiving end of this. 1,400 people received that email. And the federal judge has temporarily stayed all probationary time rates, and we're hoping that those will be called back. And part of what they used to validate that action was the committee hearing and the questions and the answers. They clearly didn't hear that were sufficient. So, and thank you for your service. Thank you for being willing to do this work. And it's really important that we acknowledge that 1/3 of our federal employees are veterans, with half of those approximately being service disabled veterans. It is a travesty that we are in this position right now, and I'm doing everything I can to fight this, and I want you to have your job back, and please get in touch with our office, because we would love to share your story personally so that we can make sure people understand. Thank you. Yeah, Elena, are we ready up there now? Okay, now, okay. So Jeff is trying to quickly get, there's somebody in the top right corner. This is a challenge, and I appreciate everyone's patience. Jeff is trying to get up there. He's running. There you go, Alex needs to be working.
I'm a retired school teacher from Gresham. And my question is, what is being done to assure we got a strong quality candidate that will against every problem?
Thank you so much, Jeff. Before you get too far away, we need to know what her number was. And yes, and so thank you so much for your question. I need to.
Last 3 or 5, 7, 7.
Great, thanks. The first thing I need to say is this is a bipartisan situation, so I am not actually allowed to talk about campaigns or what Democrats are doing versus Republicans in the campaigns for setting. So we want to make sure everyone feels represented here. I represent all people. And if you go to vaccineforward.com, you can send me an email about your campaign related questions or discussion, and it's already in the notes. Do not purchase. Later, there was that person right there that had the other number. 7809. Oh, there's more names. That's the question. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Next three, 7582. 7582. Right here, 7582, as you're going up there, it's 7822. You have to stand up unless where you are correct. Next number. So make sure you're here. 7822. And the last one is 7655. 7655.
You turn off the other mic. So first, thank you so much for being willing to ask the questions. Such a big group. That's great. Second, I will not pretend that anyone knows what Trump does, what he does. And the things that he's doing to our economy are really real. They're going to have an impact on working families. So the tariffs that are being proposed are absolutely going to hurt the thousands of federal employees that are getting fired and this remotely is absolutely going to affect our community and the services that we can provide. The lack of support for our farmers and the farm bill that he is leading is going to be very concerning for us. There are innumerable things that I personally find very troubling, but the number one thing that I'm concerned about is cutting Medicaid and the impact that it's going to have on our community. When people don't have access to health care, they can't be healthy. We need a healthy workforce to be able to have a functioning and healthy economy. So it is extremely short-sighted for us to be cutting Medicaid benefits, and I am going to cut that. I didn't want me to say no. I'm going to fight like crazy to work with you all to make sure that I will lay on the tracks for Medicaid. We've got to save that. All right, I know we have questions right up front here. Oh, they're already there. Hold on. It's 5-5. I'm a mom for at least 90%. I'm very alarmed with this along with the federal lumber industry for a couple of years, and especially hospitals. Especially since we seem to have a person who is a non-citizen, thus I heard he's a leading internationalist, who seems to be running our government and our elected president's side. And I realize this is a bipartisan event, but I think a lot of people would like to know how we're going to get rid of it. What is our plan? Well, thank you so much for your question. Most citizenship, that's not for me to know, but I have heard he must have Canadian citizenship and they're trying to revoke that. But an unelected billionaire who literally is trying to use our government for his own gain. We are at extraordinary risk right now. Billionaires are going to possibly take over our government, and they are already disproportionately needing federal tax dollars, and that is going to extremely increase over the next coming years. This is all about them, and Trump is absolutely an accomplice to it. We have heard a lot of angry folks at town halls just like this asking us to put him in jail or deport him. We don't have the ability to do that. We need the courts to help us, and we can't without Republicans standing up and standing up for what's right, passing laws to stop what's happening right now. So we absolutely need each and every person to let us know that you do not support an unelected billionaire as a government employee. We had 2,000 phone calls, and when Musk took over the Treasury Department payment system, and that's why my first bill was the Stop Musk Act, was in response to your call. Now, I recognize it doesn't likely have a chance to passage, but we have to stand up and say what is not being said on the other side right now. It's stand firm together on this. This is not how America works. We need vetted individuals in the cabinet. Elon Musk was in the cabinet meeting standing over everyone this week, saying that government shutdown is a great idea. That is absolutely the worst possible outcome for this. And I know that there are some people who say burn it down, let the government shut down. But make no mistake, if the government shuts down, all of us are harmed. The courts aren't funded. They can still fund ICE and Homeland Security efforts while the courts aren't there to protect us. We cannot see a government shutdown as a good outcome, and when Elon Musk wants it, we've got to fight for the opposite. So what are we going to do when we keep speaking loud? We've got to stay loud, we've got to stand firm on this, and shame is the thing that's going to probably motivate our Republican colleagues. We only need 3 to stand up for what's right. We've got to get them to get on board. I wish I had a better answer. So I totally respect, and Doug Berkeley taught me how to say this. I sit with each and everyone's anger and frustration, and I know that it's not just you're angry, there's other people who are angry about different things. I really want us to be able to get through the question, so I really appreciate people being respectful right now. Next question.
Call out 7582 one more time. 7582. We have 7582. All right. Next up, 7726. 7726. Raise your hand and stand up. You got it right there, right here. 7726. 7660. 7660. Right down here. And then 7661. 7661.
Elena right there, can we just go in?
My name is Dave. I've been in Portland since 1988, and I'd like to know how the federal government is going to protect our country from Russia's cyber attackers.
You all right?
Russia is no longer considered a bad actor in the agreement.
right now, but that's certainly a top one, and especially since Elon Musk and have been trying not to be disrespectful, but there's a really couple, anyway, Elon Musk and his friends. Them having access to all of your most personal financial information and your information is very concerning. We have completely removed protections, and it was an illegal accessing of that information. So 1,000% what you're saying, and I know that's not going over, but is really a critical issue right now. Again, the problem is that people in power will not let us stop that. The courts are the ones who are stopping that. So the Treasury Department information, Social Security information will stop, but that does nothing to stop Russia right now. We also, I don't know how many of you saw the interaction between Zelensky, Vance, and Trump. I just want to be extremely clear. Ukraine gave up the third largest nuclear arsenal in 1994 in exchange for the United States and Great Britain standing with them in their democracy and protecting them for the long term. And what Trump is doing is destabilizing everyone's security, the world's security. Voting with North Korea in a UN resolution is an extreme reversal. The world is on its head right now. So yes, I'm concerned about cybersecurity here at home. I'm concerned about my children being sent to war that never should be started. So again, and thank you if anyone was in my office yesterday. I had 11 individuals who were Ukrainian Americans in my office and another 6 or 8 on virtual talking about their concerns. At the same time that this was happening, I walked out of that meeting and saw what happened. Here, the Rapid Response Task Force that I serve on in the House Democrats is trying to rapidly create a response to this. They're organizing legislation and trying to do what we can in response to this, but there is absolutely no one in this room who should misunderstand what happened is putting our national security at risk and the world's security at risk. So, yes.
U.S. Department of Education, the National Institute of Health, the United States Department of Agriculture, Medicare, Medicaid, Department of Agriculture Inclusion. These are all things that elected billionaire Donald Trump and unelected billionaire Elon Musk are trying to dismantle. Article 1 of our Constitution, written in 1787, gives Congress power of the purse, and only Congress. Our 14th Amendment gives citizens birthright citizenship of this country, where we are all more people. The billionaire class is trying to steal our Constitution. They are trying to end presidential term limits, take away freedom of speech and press. I need to know that you're aware this is the time to consider drastic action. We must give it to them. But what that across political bodies, not just across state lines, but across parties. Our Constitution is at stake. Our children are at stake. Are you talking to everyone? Are you reaching out? We must act now. Thank you.
Thank you. You literally started making me cry listening to you because it resonates so much. And I hear you, and I feel it every day, and I am trying to do everything I can to be loud and to be proactive and to, yes, talk with my Republican colleagues. I have very reasonable people. You wouldn't know it, but these are good people who want to serve their communities.
No, they're not!
No, please let me say what I need to say. You need to hear this. There are Republicans who, when they think of stepping out of line, get a call from the President of the United States. Please listen to me. They have death threats if they step out of line. They have people in their communities who are showing up like you are, telling them to make a courageous choice. And that is what they need to do, and I am working with them to try to give them the opportunity to be courageous right now. We need 3 of them to stand up for what's right. That's it. Cliff Wentz here in Oregon needs to stand up for what's right. Yes, we are talking about unusual ways of trying to solve this problem. I honestly don't accept succession as the complete answer to this, but maybe we're interrupting it to some very unprecedented. Everyone keeps using unprecedented, it's overused at this time. This is truly a constitutional crisis. We have to fight for this country. And the fear, the anger, and the fear and the frustration in this room, and I absolutely accept it and will respect it and try to take the fact that you all stood up and were so loud for that, it's going to help me go back to Congress and like on those tracks to our democracy. Like, you give me the opportunity to lead with courage, and I thank you. And these are hard times. And so I'm not going to tell you to take a break and take care of each other. I've heard people didn't come here to be told to take a break, but this is a relay. We all need to stand together. There are people in this community right now who are fearful to go to school or to go to work because they're afraid that ISIS is going to try to take their family. We have to stand firm in front of unlawful, cruel action, and together we are going to get through this. And I don't mean to say that to placate you, but we have to take action together locally so that I can do everything I can at the federal level to stop it. I'm sure that was not fast enough for you, but we're going to go to the next question.
661.
Thank you.
I want to know their plans for document treatment. Not that they're for a long
Absolutely. And I'm opening up my amazing team's notes of all the bills that. Oh, sorry. The question was, what am I going to do to protect our DACA and Dreamer members of our community? So my team anticipated this question, so I'm going to read off all of the bills that we are trying to get across the finish line. Again, we only need 3. The Bipartisan American Dream Promise Act was introduced this week, and I'm a proud original co-sponsor of it, that provides Dreamers a permanent path to citizenship. Riley Act, which allows people to mislead. It is an egregious bill that allows people just to be accused of minor crimes and be deported. And it passed. This is an Implication Act, which we had an understanding that schools, hospitals, places of worship were not places where ICE could come in, and that was revoked by executive order. So we put this Implication Act, introduced it this week. We have the Access to Counsel Act, which is to help people who are being threatened with deportation to have access to legal services. I'm going to tell you, like, hell for this country is built on immigrants. We are all immigrants. Obviously, the Native American populations are also being threatened right now, and they're the only ones who have come to this land that is bringing more. I've met with the Latino Network folks in the river and nationally, and also Tony Delvaco from here in Oregon. Our immigrant communities and Tejano, I mean, people with green cards are afraid that they're going to get put in detention and deported right now. I am going to do everything I can to elevate these concerns and fight. We have amazing case workers on our team. Elena and Jeff were handing out the mics, who are both bilingual and are ready to help with any immigration issues. We're going to do everything we can locally, but we've got to all fight like hell internationally, obviously too. But I think strikes potentially may happen. We do believe that collective action for our worker and immigrant workforce will help us understand the importance of their work in our communities. And that's not for me inside, but I am hearing that people feel so hopeless that collective action is where we're headed. We won't have housing being built. We all know we need housing in the state. We are not going to have lower grocery prices if no one is harvesting and picking and taking care of our farmers in our fields. We are not going to have anyone helping with EBS in the hospitals and in tourist industries when people are clean. And the number one group of people who take care of our elderly and our children are immigrants. So we have to stand together for this. Whether or not we have legal status right now, everyone's here. So please, again, we have to stand together. We are going to do everything we can to get through your elements. Again, I'm talking to people because I know they care about their communities. We just need them to stand firm. And town halls like this are absolutely part of where they're getting pushback. And I'm also being told that Trump's telling them all to stop having town halls. So we have to demand interaction with our representatives. So please, speak out and stay up. Thank you.
That over here, hoping more people can hear me. In some areas, we only heard about 30% of what has been said. And I feel like the way the executive orders are going and our government is peak of what is happening to our society in general. And I'd like to hear from social scientists, sociologists, psychologists, political scientists, and economists to diagnose and prescribe what the society can do to start building back up, just as doctors prescribe and inject us about COVID. We have societal issues that we need to address, and we need expert guidance.
Thank you. So we absolutely have it in our responsibility to this, right? And I'm not one of those experts, so I'm not gonna give you my theory, I certainly have some. But I think the undermining of our education system is one. And I'm going to get back to this need for our families to struggle just to survive. If you are working a full-time job, you should not have to worry about whether you can afford housing and health care. We have to provide those basic needs. The community cannot think about health and community if they don't have access to food and shelter. So we must provide at a basic level the needs for every person, and the fact that we have the largest unhoused urban population in the country here in Portland, and I know I'm in Gresham, so I'm not going to disparage Gresham because Gresham is doing better than Portland is. That is a travesty for all of us to take with us, and it is absolutely denying people who think that leads to this action. I do believe that people are desperate for a better life, and they're turning on their government continues to fail now. This is not people will be right.
Tickets and the 7 So I'm going to get back to the net.
Yeah.
Social Security. And that is, yes, I'm very concerned that those are because we are ready for the severe homeless problem. There are already older people sleeping on the streets, don't have homes, yet they're occupied. And busy. What are the practical things we're going to be able to do, even if it's never? I'm very concerned. We want to help them involved and start to need ideas. Thank you.
It does Medicaid, they're going to have to come out, and they are saying, it doesn't say Medicaid in the budget resolution. It doesn't. But it designates $880 billion to come out of the Energy and Commerce Committee, which is where Medicaid is, and there's no other pot of money that can possibly fulfill that expectation of $880 billion over 10 years to cut. So Medicaid, make no mistake, is what they are going to cut. They talked about work restrictions and other things. That doesn't get to it. It will be about 50% of Oregon Medicaid people covered by Medicaid that will be cut. We are also hearing people say if they earned it or if they deserve it. And I worked hard with my colleagues to expand Medicaid coverage to undocumented Americans or undocumented Oregonians. And I am very clear that that's part of what they're going to withdraw. So if they withdraw federal matching for Medicaid, which is an enormous amount of the funding here in Oregon that allowed us to have the lowest uninsured rate in history in the last 2 years. If we pull that, that is going to be, we're not going to accept the full cutting of Medicaid. So our state lawmakers here are going to have to figure out where is that money going to get pulled from? And we all need housing and education investments and all those other things. So this, even if you are fine, you've got great insurance, you're not worried, you will be impacted by a cut to Medicaid, make no mistake. So we all have to fight against this budget. This is a tragedy that cannot be allowed to move forward. And that's why I said, like, the Medicaid cuts, I'm going to lay on the line for that. And we have to get others to lay on that rail kind of with me. And we're trying to people doing that, making no mistake, we try to get Republicans to do it as well. But Cliff Dents has more Medicaid patients in his district than Oregon.
Unless your phone's special, And you put it like this, and you when you put on YouTube, it doesn't. You don't have the black lines that go down. So
let's make sure we keep those questions tight. That's 7647,
you're welcome.
7647, and 7665. We're already at one up here, and then 7647 and 7665.
Great. Go ahead, Nikki.
I have one last one.
What do we first try to do? And what?
Without question, I am 100% concerned about this. Again, with my the question is open. The question was, what do we do to protect our trans kids? Right? There's an open threat, an open attack on people across this nation, but transgender Americans are being attacked disproportionately and cruelly, and we all need to fight back because it's just the first step to all the rest. This cannot be a partisan issue. These are people and they deserve the same dignity and rights as everyone else who. I've been very vocal about this in the Veterans Affairs Committee this week. We heard from veterans. One of them was Lindsay, who is a trans veteran who represents trans veterans across the country. And they were misgendered and absolutely disrespected by the chair of our committee. And I gave them an opportunity to speak, and I'm going to lift up their issues. But what we need in Oregon is protection of all children, all trans community members. Dan Wakefield is an amazing attorney general. He's fighting like hell. There are court actions happening right now. Dan talked about this on our telephone call last week. So you've got a governor and an attorney general from the state legislature that's going to fight like hell for our trans community. And I will continue to fight like hell at the federal level. But we all need to stand together on this. Please do not let them other our trans community. It's extremely important. Oregon is protected, it's going to maintain protection with Dan Wakefield and the Attorney General's office, and we need to protect him as well. Okay, next question. 647. Okay, please go ahead, whoever 647.
Yo!
Several times tonight that you came out, looked at their mail class, and the Trump trees. I have worked so many words from so many people. What creates your red line? What does it actually mean? You can go beyond words.
Sorry, the question was the proverbial rail lines that I'm going to skate or fly across are just words. What am I actually going to do, and what sort of action am I willing to take? Did I get that? Okay. So they are just words right now, but we are working with our colleagues across the Democrats, which is not, we're not a monolith any more than any other group is. We've got a very amount of people who are many people that we're serving. So first, I'm working with my freshman class who is closest to the people and is most able to be reformers, and we're organizing to push our leadership. Second, working with my Republican colleagues, we have to, this is a bipartisan issue. We need to make sure that it remains a bipartisan issue. So I am not I'm not promoting sit-ins in the chamber right now because Ron Lewis did that and we learned from that, but we are waiting. And I know it's frustrating, but we are going to do it for Medicaid and for those absolute progressions that we need to do. So the State of the Union, we are going to be symbolically showing in some way, we hope we're trying to get organized around that. But just words is not enough. I agree with you. We have to have our courts helping us. We've got your Republicans to stand with us. And when we need to disrupt, we will. But remember that, and I don't say this is an excuse, it's just the reality, that if we interrupt and stop proceedings in the House, they have the majority, they can change the rules on us and then just move. So we get one chance. And it's really, it's so frustrating to be in this position where we don't have the kind of power that the Senate here in Oregon did to shut everything down. That's not what we have in the House. So we are absolutely working on this, but social media, you guys all letting us know we are giving voice to your concerns and Republican districts. All of a sudden, I can remember the word. Our Republicans are starting to get messages, which is why they're telling us to stop doing town halls. They don't want the public to see that there is momentum building there. So we must demand town halls, we must demand that people have opportunities to speak out. And yes, we will take collective action. I will take collective action. I can't speak for anyone else. But I absolutely am organizing folks to get ready for that. But now it is not yet the time. And I hope you will bear with me on that. Last question. Sorry. Can you hear me? Okay. My number is 7647. I work at Providence Elderly, and I want to specifically what legislature supports and petition no vision and design is we have not just elderly, we have the things that with the money we have from take care of themselves, and this will strengthen our United business standard. So I want to know what everyone here will do and what we're doing to protect Medicaid and Medicare. Medicare is well, not just Medicaid. Yeah. So Medicare has so far not been called out as being cut, and it's in the Ways and Means Committee, and that was not part of the budget resolution. So far, Medicare has not been considered cuts. But Medicaid covers disabled people throughout the state and across this nation. So it's not just poor people, it is our elderly, it is our disabled. Medicaid takes care of everybody. So that again is why we need to protect Medicaid. And our state is doing a lot of work to protect Medicaid. They just passed a bill this week to protect Medicaid here in the state. So we have to work across our jurisdictions, and I can't tell you to organize or to do anything. That is not what I'm about to do. But what I can do is identify that there are groups who are trying to organize, and please find them, and please support them, and please make sure that they amplify your concerns, but also share your concerns and your stories with me. I would love to understand what is the impact on Medicaid costs going to be in your place of work, and send that to me so that I can elevate it. I told the story of Susan from Sandy on the floor this week, and 1,000 people, I think, almost have watched that. We just need to continue to talk about what's happening and then amplify it. So you all feel easy. Next week, everyone feeling themselves. I'm going to ask that you very collaboratively exit, and please don't try to shove anyone, and please hold out hands for people who are having a hard time getting down the bleachers. I am absolutely committed to hearing from you. This is not the last time hall aggression. I'll see you in the evening. Folks will stay from here, so all these things you want to I hope he has
It's right that you all for coming, what she said. And I do want to thank all the different chairs of our.
Hey, how you doing? All right. It's all right. No one else is.
If
Yeah.
we can make it up there, when I did the thing with them, when I talked to them before, they told me if I could make it up there, I could meet the congressman.
Okay.
How do I shut this off? I gotta turn it off.
I'll deal with it.
Okay. Let's see if I can get up here.
Thanks for coming and getting me.
Hey, you're welcome. I figured you needed it more than me.
Do not move your foot.
I won't.
Honeydew list.
I can just worry about it. Okay, you want to try and get up and meet her?
Yeah.
We gotta watch out for me. Hold on.
All right.
Because you want to know what? The one thing that she did say that she said something about Medicare not being affected.
Yeah.
It is for me. Lovely to meet you. All of
Okay.
our services are being affected.
Right.
And I also want to let her know about what I'm getting ready to do with the union.
Mm-hmm.
Which is Republicans and Democrats together in Congress, meeting if and with those. So, there you go. Great talk today.
Hello. I need to make the congressman aware of what I've been invited by the home care union here locally, the 503. They're getting ready to set up an event at the convention center, and they have personally invited me to tell my story there at that event. It's going to be scheduled for March. They're working on getting it scheduled. And then they're going to be sending me email. The person who does the political events organization for the union, he's going to be sending me an email to get me registered to tell my story. And I was at the town hall over the phone with you guys recently, and I've also called and talked to some of them too. All of my state benefits has already been taken effect. I'm losing my subsidized housing, Medicare, and Medicaid. I'm losing my ID services because I'm functionally developmentally disabled person. I'm on the DDD program, brokerage services. I'm losing it all. And I've already called the Zach Hudson and working with them trying to get this all resolved. My friend here has interviewed me, and we have videos on his YouTube channel about all of this. I can't see any of my doctors. I can't see my counselor. And I can't even get any of my medications. So I'm already being affected all the way.
I'm sorry that you're going through that.
And then also,
Our district director, she might be able to help you.
and then also the Department of Human Services is wanting me to give them all of my income. My survivor benefits, my disability tax, and my husband's passed away in 2023.
How you doing? How you doing?
I just want to give him something. I have a gift for Maxine.
You got a gift for Maxine?
We just saw her on Thursday in DC. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, you can go side exit there. Yeah, we'll be a little closer than over there. Yeah, there would be out specific answers for you right now, but call us on Monday and I'll talk to my superior and see what I can pass that along to you. I'll reach out to Rock. I'll do some work. I've asked, but I don't have any answer for you.
All right.
How do we shut this off? Or do we want to continue? And I see everything's small on mine. I don't know if I can even post it on my Facebook page.
It's off.
Here, you want it? Okay. Take a picture of that.
Okay, I got it. All right. Hmm?
Talking with uniform people. These just secret police or regular?
Huh?
Regular police?
Yeah, this is Gresham, that's a sheriff, and that's a Gresham. This is a chief right here.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm hoping we have more of a focus on what we are and a lot of people are talking about. Yeah. Yeah, it was hard to hear, I hear too. It's unfortunate. Hi. Hi, Margaret.
You guys probably know him. This is Robert West. It is. My friend.
I probably should know, but I probably don't.
I'm a cop watcher.
Oh, nice. Okay, now I do. Now you're so familiar. Okay. Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Did you enjoy it? Was hard to hear, I heard. So.
Yeah, it was, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, okay, good. Good. A
So-
lot of good information. Again, tough to kind of hear and communicate in the setting, but there's a lot of people.
Yeah, she's disabled, and she called me up and go, I want to go. I'm like, I'll go.
There you go. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Take care.
All right. Okay. All right. Let me walk behind you.
I'm studying for Portland and district reporting in different districts. I just decided on my way. I did not like
I'm waiting.
Yeah, we're over here.